Yo, 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 what it do, family? High value basketball. We are back once again. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell, family. Yeah, dig? Yo, we talking about Steph Curry one more time this offseason. Kind of funny stuff here, man. So Curry let it out the bag that he definitely was open to Kevin Durant returning to the team. And that's definitely an interesting development, yo. Because the media jumped on the whole LeBron on his barbershop show, just offhand speaking about him wanting to play with Curry. And now I'm pretty sure when that happened, when he said that, that's just more of that offhand LeBron talk, because he's got a history of just admiring players and imagining what it would be like to play with them because he wants to see the highest level of basketball, blah, 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 all of that. And that basically took the media by storm. Like they talked about that all week on daggone Nick Wright and Undisputed and ESPN and all of that. But what didn't get talked about was something that had a little bit more legitimacy or a little bit more possibility in actually happening, and that is Durant returning to the Warriors. And man, I just got to say, as just an overall NBA fan, I'm low key glad that didn't happen. Like, I ain't even going front. Like, I'm not a Warriors hater, none of stuff like that. But just as far as the sheer enjoyment of basketball, I'm low key glad that that did not happen because, man, the shifting and imbalance of power, just going all the way back to the Warriors, just sucks a lot of fun out of watching the league because you already know that not too much is going to happen other than them winning. So, um, yeah, I'm glad that it didn't take place for that particular reason. Now, it is very interesting though. Curry actually coming out and actually admitting, that they potentially were, looking at bringing him back. Because yeah, I mean, if they did get back together, clearly that locked them in for a whole nother championship. I mean, that's almost even worse than what happened the last time. Like they lost the championship and then brought him in. So what happens when they win the championship and they bring him in? Like sheesh. Like yeah, definitely nobody wants to see that, man. But I do think it is interesting that Curry, he continues to be consistent in who he is as a person. Like just the kind of larger than basketball aspect, he as a person, he understands that a person like Kevin Durant on the team can do leaps and bounds for that team. I mean, it can propel them back to a legendary status. For whatever it's worth, like it or hate it, that is definitely going to go down as one of the best teams the NBA has ever seen. So imagine if he comes back and let's just say he actually stays put this time. He has what 4 years left on that contract or whatnot. Let's say he actually stayed all 4 of those years, barring any injury. They win three more chips. Like that's some legendary level stuff, to be honest. Um, but yeah, but still, for the sake of the health of the league and competition, man, I'm glad it didn't take place. And then also too, is just it's just the whole narrative that we have about Kevin Durant. About him not being a leader. People um, not really being convinced on if he really has the heart, to really lead a team and go through the grind of trying to win a championship. It would definitely put all of those markers right back on him, and all of those critiques right back on him. And it was just interesting, that it had developed in such a way that it did. And it was one note too, though, that Curry did say he called Kevin Durant misunderstood, and now that's interesting because I mean, I don't think Kevin Durant is greatly misunderstood. I mean, Kevin Durant is the one making these moves that he makes, and he's got everybody else just looking at him, kind of sideways. Um, but as far as being misunderstood, I don't think he's misunderstood. I think there's just a matter of expectations on him because he's such a great and talented player. And based on the history of the league that he participates in, people want to see these players put forth their best effort. Like they want to see them put in that sweat equity to win a championship. It's not because we want to see a player suffer, but we want to see you bring out the bag. Like you got a big epic size bag. We want you to take all the items out of it. Like we want to see it. Like that's a part of the reason why we watch. We want to see the dopeness. So to call him misunderstood is, I guess maybe like there's clearly on a fan level, we don't know Kevin Durant personally at all. The vast majority of us, like I say, sports commentators, Twitter folk, we don't know who that man actually at all. So there's a general kind of misunderstanding, but on just a larger narrative, I don't see he's misunderstood. I see him as like he said, y'all know who I am. I'm Kevin Durant. I want to hoop, and hooping is really all I care about. I want to get better every day, and I want to perfect my craft, and I'm not necessarily a leader. Like, what else is there to be misunderstood? I mean, the dude showed his hand with all of the burner accounts and all of this stuff, trying to validate his move from OKC and all of this other crap. So I mean, I don't see nothing that can be generally misunderstood about the guy other than, like I said, we just don't know him personally. I don't think anybody's questioning, if he's a good person or not. I can understand how maybe, um, at the player level, you may get tired of like hearing about like that cupcake stuff and all of that. But for us as fans and us as folk who do commentary, that's just what comes along with the territory, fam. You famous, you rich, and you in the spotlight. So, hey, that's just the KD mantra, the KD narrative that exists. It'll fade away if he wins. Like, just being straight honest, if he wins in Brooklyn, people will shut that up a little bit because he would finally have shown himself completely approved without any asterisks. So, yeah, him going back to Golden State, that just puts the asterisks backs on. It puts the critiques back on. But if, on the flip side, it does open up the potentiality for people to see, one of the greatest dynasties that could have ever taken place in basketball. So, hey, take it for what it's worth. Appreciate Steph Curry for his honesty. The most humble superstar in my lifetime next to Tim Duncan. Appreciate his words, yo. He just tells the truth, keeps it like it is. So hey, glad the Warriors squad got what they got. I would actually rather see them go with the team that they have with these young bucks and Steph Curry 2.0 with the new splash brother Jordan Poole. Seeing how he's gonna develop. Seeing Andrew Wiggins, seeing what he gonna do if he's still gonna quietly be the second best player on that team. Yeah, he definitely is. He was on that run if y'all weren't paying attention. I want to see what happens with Draymond Green. I want to see Klay Thompson get better. Because even though, what he did was really a marvel and a revelation based on where he came from these injuries, I want to see him get even better and get back to himself. So, yeah, man, I'd rather watch what is currently being put out because there's more parity and there's more excitement because we watching dudes bring out the full bag. So, yeah, shout out to Curry for his authenticity, though. High value basketball. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that noti bell, family. Holla.